An arrest in the courthouse, time for bikes, building safety month, and more. All in this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, May 14th, 2013. I'm Sarah Colvin. A 27-year-old Centerville woman is behind bars for allegedly dealing drugs to a prisoner. Chief of Police Paul McDonald says the incident happened Friday morning at Barnstable District Court.
And what she was charged with was distribution of narcotics inside of Barnstable District Courthouse in the second session. What was going on is the Barnstable Street Crime Unit and the Barnstable County Sheriff's Office had some information regarding Samantha coming into the District Courthouse when a known individual was being transported from the jail for some type of hearing in the courthouse, and she was covertly putting drugs in a particular area in the courthouse where he would then pick them up and bring them back to the House of Correction. And it's just extraordinary to think that an individual would bring a known narcotic into the Barnstable District Courthouse and then distribute it there to a prisoner going to the House of Correction. That's what's so extraordinary about the whole incident.
Chief McDonald says it isn't the first time this has happened.
We know it happened at least one or two other times. We think this was the third time. We know he did get the drugs back at the House of Correction. Now the question comes up is how is he able to do that, because we know when the prisoners are taken from the House of Correction, they are thoroughly searched before they're brought into the courthouse, and they're searched again before they're brought back to the House of Correction. So how this is occurring is that's something the Sheriff's Department is going to have to work out, try to find out what happened. But they're in the process of interviewing him, and he too is going to be charged with a conspiracy to violate the Control Act.
The chief says Samantha Best is facing serious charges.
And what's extraordinary is to show you how the judges take a dim look on this. She has been held on $10,000 cash bail. That is the same bail that Anthony Russ is out on, and he was charged with a major investigation for heroin and cocaine. He's out on $10,000, and this young lady, however, she is not out. She has not made a $10,000 bail. So the court is sending a clear message that this is not going to be tolerated.
Best is being held on $10,000 bail, and the investigation continues. Meanwhile, it's Building Safety Month. Director of Regulatory Services Tom Geiler oversees the town's building division. He talked to us about the role of the building division in regards to safety.
The building department is responsible for the construction of structures within the town. They do that working with codes that are developed by the International and National Code Committee organizations, and Massachusetts has a subgroup of that as well. Our building commissioner, Tom Perry, is one of the officers of that state association. This month, they've been doing this for about 33 years now in terms of trying to promote a month on building safety to keep people aware of some basic protection opportunities, and when you think about the construction of a house, the town will have inspectors that will supervise the incremental construction of that home. But beyond that, then a lot of that oversight falls to the homeowners and maintenance issues, and there are significant issues that in trying to keep a home safe. Some of them overlap with fire. The fire alarms and smoke alarms are very, very important. Things like establishing escape routes with families, so that if something happens, that they know what to do. Monthly testing of smoke detectors, keeping things like garden hoses and so forth around during the summer season that can be used, and not allowing vegetation to grow up against the home that could lead to a fire in the building. Pool safety is another area. Maintaining fences and gates and making sure that children and unsupervised children can't get into the pool areas. Even looking at things like pool alarms and And then things like decking that might be around a pool, it might be just on a patio type of thing, or even a second-story deck and so forth. Making sure that...
Geiler says information on building code, safety, and permits is available online at town.barnstable.ma.us. Cape Codder is interested in technology gathered in Hyannis yesterday for the 3rd annual Smarter Cape Summit. Cape and Island State Senator Dan Wolf was there. He gave a talk at the end of the day. Senator Wolf says leveraging the technology available on the Cape is very important.
Part of the desire and the initiative of some very smart and creative people on the Cape, both in the private and public sector, to define what our economy and what our communities are going to look like in 20 or 30 years. And really integrating in Open Cape, which is our more public access alternative to Comcast relative to high-speed internet service. And, starting with the access that our towns and municipalities and schools will all have to high-speed internet access. Opening it up to the business community and what that means relative to our economy, and very smart stuff, and talking about what the community college's role is going to be, the science, technology, engineering, and math initiatives that are going on state and countrywide, how that fits into the Cape and Islands going forward. So a very broad-ranging discussion with some really key leaders on the Cape to really integrate in Open Cape to a lot of the other initiatives that are looking forward. So it was great to see people from the Cape Cod Commission, people from the Chamber of Commerce, government leaders there, educational leaders, wrapping it all together. As I say so often, Sarah, it really is a remarkable district that I serve, and it's a great community because we're way ahead of other parts of the state as far as all these leaders coming together to define what our future is going to look like. So, I think this was the 3rd annual Smarter Cape Conference, and it just keeps getting smarter every time.
The Smarter Cape Summit was held at the Cape Codder Resort on Monday, May 13th. Barnstable's Department of Public Works is developing plans to improve a section of Main Street in Cotuit from the southern intersection with Ocean View Ave to Vineyard Road. Tonight, residents are invited to a public meeting on that project. It's being held at Freedom Hall on Main Street in Cotuit. Department of Public Works head Dan Santos has more about that meeting.
The purpose of this meeting is to share our very preliminary planning for the reconstruction of the southern part of Main Street in Cotuit, from about the Freedom Hall area down to Oregon Beach. And what we like to do is, present our preliminary thoughts about how the project should go based on input we've been collecting over the years on problems with drainage and where the road has deteriorated and where it's dangerous and where trees are impeding the access. But we also take the opportunity to get input from the local residents on what they think about what the problems are, but also about what potential solutions they might like to see, because we've come up with some good ideas from folks by doing this in the past. And this is not the first time we've done this. We regularly have these public input sessions and meetings in the community, usually with a village civic association, in order to get input and just share information back and forth about the project.
Project goals include improving the drainage system and improving the deteriorating roadway infrastructure. That public meeting begins at 5 o'clock tonight at Freedom Hall, 978 Main Street in Cotuit. Barnstable wants you to ride your bike. It is Bay State Bike Week and the weather is nice. No excuse not to take that two-wheeler to work. Your input on biking as Barnstable is needed. This Wednesday, the Growth Management Department is holding a Barnstable by Bike event. Cyclists are invited to Town Hall from 6 to 7:30 tomorrow night to talk about needs and desires for biking in Barnstable. Participants are encouraged to bike to the meeting. There will be prize drawings for those who do. For more information, you can visit town.barnstable.ma.us and click on Barnstable by Bike. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.